Our first stop is going to be here in the Little Ituri Forest. Ituri means little in Swahili, so if you want to call it the Little Forest, feel free to do so. A lot of the animals here are going to say hidden and camouflaged within that foliage around them, so make sure we're looking out everywhere, seeing what we can find. Up to the left, there's some bongos and greater kudus scattered throughout the bushes and trees. The bongos have horns on top of their head that face backwards that'll help them navigate their way through the forest a lot easier than most other animals might, and a lot more quietly than most other animals, giving them their nickname, the Ghost of the Forest. Up there to the right, that would be the okapi. The okapi, it kind of looks like they are wearing some zebra pants, however they are the closest living relative to the giraffe. Now that is due to a couple of different things. That would be their skull-like structure and their prehensile tongue. A prehensile tongue just kind of acts like an additional finger inside of their mouths, helping them get that reach and grip for food in hard-to-reach places. And we'll talk about that in a few days whenever we head out onto the savannah. Down there to the left is a greater kudu. So it's a female greater kudu. Really quick, take a look at that spotting guide up above you. Go all the way to the end sides. You'll see the greater kudus right up there. What is different about the greater kudu up there than the ones we just saw? They have horns up there, so the males are going to grow these horns atop their head. They could be about 6 feet in length, twisted way up to the very top. So the greater kudu that we have here, they are female greater kudus. Keep a lookout up to the left-hand side. He's been playing hide and seek all day, kind of hiding within the rockwork, looking out for the black rhino. Now, black rhino is one of the most rare animals on the entire reserve. That is because just a few years ago, there were less than 5,000 of them left in the world. But due to conservation efforts today, there are close to about 10,000 left in the world, which is great news. However, it still makes them one of the most endangered species of rhino to this day. Over to the left, we have some saddle-billed storks. The saddle-billed storks, they get their name from that yellow shaping that you might be able to see on their bill, very similar in shape to a saddle in which, made with riding horsemen. They can grow to be about 5 feet tall, and the best way to tell the females and males apart, they do have 2 different colored eyes. I find that pretty cool, definitely very unique for them. Now, I did mention we're on a 2-week journey. We are heading into day 3. Time is flying. And as we go along, we're going to talk about more animals, where they get their names from. Most of which happen to get it from their appearance. Like one of the first animals down here in the Safi River, the pink-backed pelicans. Pink-backed pelicans, they get their name from the light pink coloring that is found on their back. And that pink color will get a little bit more vibrant and brighter as they approach their mating seasons. They also have a wingspan close to about 9 feet in width, similar to the width of the truck we are on right now. Over there to the left, I know those look like rocks, however, they are Nile hippopotamus. Nile hippopotamus, they can hold their breath underwater for about 8 minutes in length, even while sleeping. Their bodies just have this natural instinct to come up and take a breath for them. Hippos, they have really big teeth on them. Those teeth mainly used as a defense mechanism more than anything else. They like to eat a lot of lettuce and grass, a lot of greenery in general. A group of hippo called a flow of hippo. Believe it or not, hippos, they cannot swim. If they try to swim, they're just going to sink right down to the bottom. So instead they'll push off the bottom of the water using their feet. That'll help them get that speed and momentum. There's some hippos way back there by the waterfall. One more animal hanging out in the Safi River. These are Nile crocodiles. Nile crocodiles, they can grow to be about 20 feet in length. Both female and male Nile crocodile, they will roll their eggs around the inside of their mouths as a great way to prepare their eggs for whenever they come time to hatch. Pretty much what I mean by this, they're going to switch those eggs around back and forth inside of their mouth using their tongue. Ideally, the tongue is going to push out the egg, speed up that process, make things a little bit easier for them. Unlike humanine crocodiles, they don't have sweat glands on their body, so the best way for them to keep cool would be hanging out with their mouths open. Helps them release all that interior body heat and just regulate their body temperature. And if you are a really big crocodile fan on board over in Dino Land, USA by Dinosaur, we have American crocodiles, and you can get a much closer view of them. Now, speaking of views, we are approaching one of my personal favorites here on the reserve. This is going to be the overlook of our savannah. And if you look very closely down there to the left, you can actually see the savannah? It was a trick question. We're about to head down there and get a closer view with some more recognizable faces. But first, over here to the right, this tree, it kind of looks like it is upside down. It is actually just leafless, 9 to 10 months out of the year. It's called the baobab tree. So that big trunk at the bottom of the tree can hold about 1,000 gallons of water inside of it, making it a great source of water for some of the animals found here on the savannah. Also where the tree will find its little nickname, maybe you've heard of it before, the tree of life. Very good. A lot more confident than my last truck. Bill said tree of water. What are you talking about? Alright, lots of animals out and about. Seeing some pretty tall animals a little bit further ahead. Those tall animals are going to be the Maasai giraffes. Now Maasai giraffes, they could grow to be about 20 feet in height, 6 feet at birth. They also learn how to walk within their first hour of life. Pretty impressive considering it took me that long just to get up and out of bed this morning. The 6 foot at birth, quite beneficial for them when it comes to any nursing needs that they may have as little ones. We talked about the giraffe being most related to the okapi. That was due to a couple different things. That would be their skull-like structure and their prehensile tongues. So giraffe's tongue about 18 to 20 inches in length. But one other similarity that we didn't get to talk about yet would be the little horns atop of the giraffe's head. Those are called ossicones. Only male okapi have ossicones atop of their head, as on the side giraffe will have it with them. Down to the left, redirecting your attention over here. These are my favorite animals on the reserve, the painted dogs. Painted dogs, commonly confused for hyenas. They're actually very different than the hyena. That is because they are a part of the canine family. All hyenas, they are a part of their own unique species called Hyenidae. We do have all males, and they all have a very specific ranking within the pack. They have a 95% success rate when it comes to their hunting ability, which is actually greater than the lions and the cheetahs. The female painted dog will give birth to one of the biggest pup litters in the canine family, an average of about 10 to 15 pups per litter. Very impressive. A couple different animals are going to be here to the left. So we have some Harmon Mountain zebras, and I also see some springbok. The springbok are the smaller antelope. They can jump about 6 feet up in the air, 13 feet across the way whenever they run and jump at the same time. That is called pronking. Whenever they are really excited and happy, they release this pheromone from their body. It kind of smells like cotton candy. The Harmon Mountain zebras, as their name suggests, excellent mountain climbers. They also get this little nickname called a dazzle when they travel in a group together. That's because of the stripes on their back giving off a dazzling effect to predators, making it harder for them to spot a single zebra from the rest of the group. We do have 2 baby zebras. There's one right there by the square. Our baby zebras are about 9 months old right now. These big mounds that we are passing, they are termite mounds. They are mainly made up out of mud, dirt, and saliva. That does all harden over time, and it provides a great back and neck scratching post. Where the Harmon Mountain zebras are eland, which are the tallest and largest antelope on our reserve, and the Maasai giraffes on both sides of the track. Does anybody know what we call a group of giraffes? Tower, very good. Quite appropriate, as they are one of the tallest animals that there is. The best way to remember that, they do tower over the other animals here on the savannah. A group of scared giraffe called a Tower of Terror.
Не успел.
Yeah, it's right over your arm. You have to do all the way here.
Смотри, что у него с хвостом. У него идет хвост, потом... Все смотрят на зебру, мы смотрим на письку.
Well, looks like we are at a traffic jam right now. Giraffes in the road up ahead.
трассы идут по дороге, они не могут ехать.
He's taking us down the path.
Смотри, они другой дорогой ходят.
Oh. What's that? Oh, with the horn.
Это корова.
Wait, try and
Мама просила не говорить по-английски. И она стесняется.
Okay, okay,
Что такое? А,
So over to the right, at the very top of the hill, we have wildebeest and Coley cattle. And Coley cattle, they have really big horns on top of their head. Those horns mainly hollow inside, and they do have a honeycomb-like structure with blood vessels running through their horns. The blood vessels are going to run all the way to the tippy tops of the horn, back down to their head. Keeps them cool, regulates their body temperature. Pretty good view here on the Maasai draft.
он клюнет сейчас.
Now, wildebeest, they get their name from the Afrikaans word wild beast. They can travel in very big groups together, about 1.5 million at a time, out 1,000 miles in distance, typically during their migration season. And when they've done that, they kick these big dust clouds into the air, which have been able to be seen all the way from the International Space Station before. We are heading into elephant territory right now. We're going to be on lookout for African elephants up ahead. There's also going to be a mandrill yard to your left. Mandrill's the largest monkey species that there is. The male's once fully grown, about 100 pounds. A lot of people get that confused for the gorillas. They think gorillas have to be the largest monkey, but gorillas are actually a part of the ape family. Best way to tell a monkey and an ape apart. Monkeys have tails, apes, they do not.
Обезьяны могут где угодно быть.
Let's see the mandrill right now. He's hiding out from us. Now within a single African elephant's trunk, they do have a couple thousand more muscles within that trunk alone than we have in our entire bodies, making those trunks very strong and very, very powerful, but also very useful.
В хоботе больше мускулов, чем у тебя во всем теле. Вот смотри, у него тоже писька торчит. У всех письки торчат.
Now male elephants, they are going to reach a certain age where they kind of branch out from the rest of the group and isolate themselves the majority of their lives, while the females and younger ones are going to stay more together in a bigger group setting. As we get ready to head into our second elephant yard right now, it's exactly what we're going to be on the lookout for, are females and younger elephants. Before we get over there, I want to encourage everybody on board, make sure that you have your cameras and recording devices, all that out ready to go, just because up ahead, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to be seeing our new baby elephant. Our baby elephant is about 3.5 months old. She's about the size of like a medium-sized dog, maybe a little bit bigger. Just over 300 pounds. She's our first second-generation elephant here in the park. Her mother was born in the park around 2004. An elephant's pregnancy will last an average of about 22 months. There's baby elephant down here to our left.
Baby elephant.
Are you recording? Yeah. I don't press anything.
I don't remember.
Я не был, это до того, как...
Now we talked about the elephant's trunks being very useful. The elephants are one of those animals that will use a baobab trees as a source of water, especially if there are no open bodies of water around for them. They will punch their holes into the tree using their tusks. That might do the bark that's within the tree. Then we'll continue to use their trunk to get water from the hole that they punctured. African elephant's trunk can hold roughly about 4 to 5 gallons of water inside of it. It's going to be an elephant to your back left, hanging out by the water. Pretty good view of them.
Oh, she's coming.
All the birds that we are getting ready to go around, these are the greater flamingo. What makes them so great, they're actually a lot larger than lesser flamingo. I know that sounds funny, but it is true. We do have lesser flamingo here at Animal Kingdom, located by the Tree of Life. They get their pink coloring from the beta-carotene found within inside of the shrimp that they eat. Will start at their feet, work their way up to the rest of their body. It takes about 2 full years to get that vibrant pink color found on it. Now we are entering the deeper parts of the savannah, so some of the animals that we might get the opportunity of seeing up ahead are going to be the very big, strong, notorious animals. We'll do our best to talk about them before we get to their area, but sometimes they're just right there, like the white rhinos. So the white rhinos, they are the bigger of the 2 rhino we have on the reserve. They can grow to be about 5,000 pounds. They get their name from the Afrikaans word bite, bite actually meaning wide, not white. It was a mispronunciation throughout the years. However, the name just stuck with the white rhino. All the way down to the right-hand side, there are some ostrich, named by the green truck, way down there. Ostrich, biggest bird species that there is. Also the fastest land animal on 2 feet. Hunting speeds close to about 43 miles per hour. Female ostrich, they will have a much lighter feathering on them as compared to the males who have a dark solid black color. As we pass this next area, be on the lookout up to the left-hand side, see if you're able to spot anything, no pun intended. We are looking out for the cheetahs. Cheetahs, they are the fastest land animal that there is. Run speeds of about 60 miles per hour, like a football field. They don't want to run anything further than that. At that speed, could definitely tire them out, making it harder for them to catch their prey. They go 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds, so similar to Rock and Roller Coaster's launch over Disney's Hollywood Studios. 5 female cheetahs here on the reserve, 3 of them triplets, the other 2 are twins.
It's like looking at us.
Now cheetahs, they do like to hunt during the daytime, which could be a little bit of a disadvantage to them as compared to our next cat, who actually likes to hunt in the evening. Now they prefer to hunt at night because their night vision about 6 times greater than us humans. Here at the Kobe Rock, we're going to be looking out for the lions. Now, female lions, also known as lioness, main hunters in a pride of lion. The male, they will stay back much over the rest of the pride. Pride is what we call a group of lion, and where the name Pride Rock will come from. Pride Rock, of course, coming from the Lion King. There to the right, there's some more white rhinos. Now, one similarity between the white and black rhino are going to be the horns on their head. Again, made up out of keratin, same thing found within inside of our fingernails and our hair. There's our male lion laying there at the edge of the rock. Pretty good view of him. Now, a lion's roar at its absolute loudest, heard from about 6 miles away. So the furthest I've ever heard it was all the way from the Animal Kingdom parking lot. So make sure you're listening out as you make your way through Animal Kingdom. They do get pretty active later on in the afternoon and really early in the morning. The next animal is the largest burrowing mammal in Africa. They will burrow into an animal's underground rear end, facing in first. These are the warthogs, laying way over there to the left.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they can actually reach speeds of about 35 miles per hour. They are also a little bit lazy. They don't like to dig up their own holes. They like to burrow and previously dug up holes from other animals. And we talked about the ostrich earlier being the biggest bird species that there is. That could only mean one thing. They must lay some pretty big eggs. Down there to the right on the ground, there are some ostrich eggs. So once fully grown, they can be equivalent in weight to 2 dozen chicken eggs. They can also withstand the weight of an average adult human standing on top of them. Pretty cool. Now we are making our way out of the savannah. We are heading into the Magadi Glen. This is home to the Warden's outpost. But while the Warden is out during the day, these little guys up ahead, they like to look out over the outpost for them. These are the one and only, the world famous, in my mind, Nigerian dwarf goats. Nigerian dwarf goats, they do have one stomach on them, but 4 little capsules found connected to that stomach, which helps them digest all of that wheat, grass, and hay that they eat a lot of. They also have a great source of dairy. Their milk is very, very sweet and really high in value. Now, if you really like these goats, there is a place here at the park where you can actually pet these goats for free with park admission. That'd be over at Rafiki's Plan and Watch. We have an affection section over there where you can get up close and personal to these goats along with other animals from all around the park. We also have an animation experience, learn how to draw some of your favorite Disney animated characters, and our Animal Nutrition Center and a hospital located over there too. So you might get lucky to see a checkup or a procedure happening right behind the glass in front of your eyes. But all in all, I think we were pretty lucky with some of the animals we got to see out on the reserve. Many different things that we could do to help protect these animals, especially here at the Animal Kingdom. So just beyond the Harambe village, right past the bridge to Africa, there is a Starbucks. Head on over there, get yourself a flat white latte. All proceeds of the flat white latte go towards the endangered monkeys, some of which located just across from the Starbucks here called the Cotton Top Camerons. And at any Disney merchandise location, if you round your purchase up to the nearest dollar, all proceeds are going to go towards the Disney Conservation Fund. You will get a really cool button that you can show off to your friends and family